And Tev, I know you're tracking Ernesto right now. A lot of times we often forget how far north Bermuda is, right?
Yeah.
So what's the impact on the U.S. coastline?
The U.S. coastline will still need to watch out for very dangerous rip currents. And the reason I think that's so crucial and important to point out this weekend specifically, we're at the tail end of summer in terms of folks trying to get in that last little bit of vacation. So maybe you're going out towards the beach. This is not the weekend to get into the water because of that dangerous rip current risk. We could actually see 5 to 15-foot waves right off the New England coastline. Here's the latest on Ernesto right now. Its winds are at 100 miles an hour with gusts nearly 120 miles an hour. It's moving towards the north and northeast at about 13. So again, this is just 300 miles to the south of Bermuda. Already those outer rainfall bands are reaching Bermuda right now. We think sometime tonight and early tomorrow it still holds on to that Cat 2 status before it starts to quickly downgrade to a Category 1 hurricane by Sunday morning. But this is still a long track. In fact, look, as it makes its way into the north central Atlantic and northwestern Atlantic on Monday morning, perhaps re-strengthening back into a pretty stout hurricane, a Cat 1 at that, where we are still looking at some sort of surge, if you will, in terms of that influx of the wave energy from Ernesto. So midday today, most of that wave action is tight near the core of the storm. As it exits Bermuda, now we get to Sunday overnight. Now our waves start to pick up first across the south coast and then into the Gulf of Maine and the Bay of Fundy by Monday midday, right around 10 to maybe even 15-foot waves. So even though we're not taking a direct impact to this storm, at the very least across the mainland, we will still see impacts into the water. So keep in mind if you're out, even some of the strongest surfers, by the way, cannot break rip currents. So please keep that in mind and swim near a lifeguard if you can. Turning to our storm threat that we had over the past 48 hours, our rainfall totals are really ramped up. Not only have we erased, I think, most of our deficit, we're perhaps in a surplus on not only the month, but also the season, too. Falmouth at about 2.5 inches of rain. Sterling, Mass at just shy of an inch of rainfall. And Boston right around 0.9 inches of rain. When there's no more rainfall today, we're looking at cloudy skies for the morning. By midday, the sun really starts to beam and break out with cooling temperatures. Look at this. By 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we're at 73 degrees. So it's not an overly warm day today, but I think it will be quite pleasant once we can shake some of the clouds. For the second half of the day, we'll shake those clouds. For the first half, not only is it cloudy, but it's also foggy, too. Some of the air quality that is going downhill today, especially across central and western Massachusetts, where we have actually an air quality alert where the air is unhealthy for sensitive groups. And this is still due to some of the wildfire smoke across the western U.S. and wildfires that are also burning across Canada. And that smoke is really just dropping down towards the south in heavy plumes and certainly thicker plumes, too, more so in days past. So if you take a look at the sunshine today, even though there's not a lot of it for the morning time frame, perhaps sunsets will be a little bit more filtered and muted and milky with the hazy skies that we have overhead. We'll talk more about the weekend forecast coming up. It's certainly not a washout with a 30% chance of rainfall on Sunday. I think most of that rain is in the evening. Monday and Tuesday, though, we pick things up where we left off with more showers, and it seems strictly as rain showers, not severe thunderstorms. I'll see you guys coming up in the next 10 minutes.